What are the telltale signs that you're heading for a breakup? When you get home, you find yourself sitting in your car, just taking a few extra minutes and some deep breaths before you go inside. Unless you have kids. If you have kids, this is totally normal. This is exactly how I am when I get to work. Put car in park. Take a few deep breaths. Fiddle with my cup holder. Tense up all the muscles while gripping the wheel of my car. Release tension. One last deep breath. Get out of car. Walk into work. Think I need to break up with my job. When you miss the memories more than your partner. From personal experience, I would have to say when I find that I am unable to relax around my current partner. If I feel on edge because I'm nervous that we are going to get into an argument, or I have to be on my best behavior to make you want to hang out with me, then we are headed for a breakup. I broke up with my last ex when I realized that my hands were shaking once I got in my car after hanging out. Just to mellow out the flames of worry in this thread. A relationship that ends isn't a failure. It's a default. You are allowed to love and lose. You are allowed to not be bitter about it. You are allowed to grow in different directions. You are allowed to want something they can't offer. And they are allowed the same. You are allowed to let go. You are allowed to miss them. You are allowed to move on. We've been told we should be searching for a single somebody instead of enjoying and learning from what time we have with anybody. Ending is okay. Sometimes a short, successful relationship is the best thing you could have done for yourself for a little while. You are allowed to stop worrying. When spending time together feels like a chore, not a pleasant afternoon. Edit. Some time apart is normal and healthy. I'm specifically talking about a sense of dread that wasn't present beforehand. I'm terribly sorry, my dear. But being with you right now is simply not reminiscent of a pleasant afternoon. Therefore I must leave you. Tally ho. Tally ho forever. But it's only 10 AM. You hesitate to make future plans with them. When this question makes you a little uncomfortable. They're very similar for the signs that you're heading for a layoff. Secret meetings that you're not invited to. Excessive recriminations for minor infractions. Making sure that somebody else can take care of all of your official duties. Shti. My girlfriend just called me in for another evaluation even though we did our yearly reviews in November. She's been asking really weird questions about my projects too. This can't be good. This thread is like the WebMD for relationships. Nothing but doubt and worry will ensue after reading. When you're spying on someone because you think they are cheating. When your so goes out of their way to find differences between the two of you. This can be a subtle one. But I have noticed it in almost every breakup I've had. For example, you watch a movie and you think your so might like it. So you say, hey, check out X. It's your sort of movie. When things are going well they might say, oh, okay, but just before the breakup they are looking to put psychological distance between you. So it ends up turning into, oh, that's really not the kind of movie I like. It's subtle. But I think it happens when people are trying to justify going out with someone else. They try to find as many differences between themselves and their current partner to make it seem like it's not a good fit. And they find more and more similarities with the new partner. Of course. This is just a general pattern. If it happens one time, don't think your so is gonna break up with you tomorrow. When you are constantly breaking up and getting back together. Eventually there is too much water under the bridge and things fold for good. Breaking up is like knocking over a Coke machine. You can't do it in one push. You gotta rock it back and forth a few times and then it goes over. Seinfeld. Joint Facebook accounts. We all know one. Your phone rings. It's her. And you don't want to answer. Edit. I guess I should break up with my mom. Edit. Jesus FCK. I love my mom. I spend lots of time with her. I'm always taking my wife and daughter over to visit. I just need to spend some time with my family and friends occasionally. and also to go to work uninterrupted from time to time. You always. Asterisk. You never. You always know what to say. You never cease to amuse me. 2 things I heard yesterday. I'm F-kid. When you look at him or her and think, he is an asshole daily. Or you describe them to friends as an asshole. It's time to go. Less talking despite obvious tension. You find yourself not bringing up that you haven't so quickly into conversations with the opposite sex. Watching TV together. Having a nice time. She said, hey. I just want you to know that we'll always be friends. Pretty much knew it was down the tank after that. I was creeping her Pinterest looking for inspiration for a gift when I saw that to her most recent pin, were some foreboding Mumford & Sons lyrics. Thought to myself, oh. Firstly, she starts wearing less and going out more. Then you see her having glasses of champagne on the dance floor which you know she can't afford, and finally hanging with girls you have never seen before. Edit. Thank guys. I'm setting up a record label now. Posting on Reddit asking for telltale signs that you're heading for a breakup. It's taken me 3 tries to figure this out. The moment it's over is the moment I say to myself, in my head, this thing may bother me now, but fighting about it isn't worth it because at some point in the future, I will be free of this. Then I just wait like a year or 2 for an opportune time and end it. Working on reducing that waiting period. When you're so talks about intimate and personal matters of theirs with other people and you just feel like those are the things that they would normally discuss with you. I don't mean this in a selfish way. Nobody can limit their so, and humans need friends and communication. But when you know the other person for so long, you learn to distinguish between their friends and people they would be interested in a romantic way. And it's not even flirting. It's just pure trust, and that's what makes you hurt. Not angry. When she pocket dials you while getting laid. Actually, that was the sound of me eating spaghetti. But I'll let them think it was the other thing. Sex becomes a chore. He comes out of the closet. You resent each other. You don't like being around each other. You feel more like roommates than a couple. The cops get involved in the relationship. Me Too starts coming instead of I love you too. Finding reasons to work late, errands to run before going home, when really they aren't necessary. Watching TV constantly when together in house. One of you is always a little under the weather. Either imagined, invented, or simply a physical reaction to the emotional anguish of a dying love toxic relationship. Close bracket. Not being able to find any common ground or common interests. Close friends drifting away from contact. Specifically relating to groups of couples that socialize together. They feel it before you do sometimes. Rats on a sinking ship. Dot. Close bracket. Edit. Asterisk. If she FCKS another guy. I hope you're reading this, Stacy. When making plans, you look forward most to those things you'll do alone. You don't want to click on this thread because you're afraid of what you'll find. You get annoyed if a phone call from them interrupts you when doing something mundane. Or you're just like me and hate phone calls in general. Hot dogs thawing in the sink. You start following any advice given in our relationship advice. Sounds like you're in a bad, abusive relationship. Time to lawyer up. Hit the gym. Go no contact. Buy your significant other a train set. If after all the hours of setting it up and playing with it, they prefer to suck another guy's dick, then you should break up. I might be late, but I think the worst sign is overdependence. Depending too much on a partner or on each other will most likely guarantee that it will not last. My ex was a beautiful, funny, and cool girl who I thought had it all. I depended on her so much that she didn't have enough space. I always wanted to hang out with her and kiss her and always be with her until I realized what I was doing. We talked and made space, but after I stopped being so dependent and clingy, She started to be just the same. She would constantly check my phone and find something she didn't like that was pretty normal. She went from wanting space to not letting talk to my friends who were girls. I remember at one point she made me tell another girl I won't be talking to her because I used to think she was cute a couple of years before. It ended because we both realized we depended on each other way too much. That shit left me sour. It's been over a month. But I'd still take you back any day and work it out. According to most of these signs, I should break up with my job. She stops farting in front of you. I'm definitely not heading for a breakup. The 4 major breakup warning signs. 1. Your partner starts distancing himself either physically or emotionally. 2. Your partner makes big changes to his daily routine. 3. You notice a change in the frequency of your arguments. 4. The level of physical intimacy has dropped to an all-time low. Statistically. Poop in the mailbox. Your right rollerblade is missing. 40 grand in debt at Docomo Telecommunications. It's not rocket science, people. If you have hypothetical arguments about your partner in your head, you are in a poisonous relationship. For example, if you can't finish a thought without hearing your partner chime in with something negative to say to you, and you end up thinking about how to counter that. When Scotty doesn't know. Not being able to discuss things without instant flare-ups. Not being able to agree on anything. Not spending time together, or wanting to. Not having sex. I don't think this thread is a healthy thing for me to be reading. When they start being distant with you, especially physically, where before you might have sex 2 or 3 times a week, all of a sudden it's been 2.5 weeks. And when you try to broach the subject, she says she doesn't want to. Kisses aren't nearly as passionate as they were. And before long she's wanting to come over because you two need to talk. Yay. It sucks, but what can you do? Go gay before she can dump you. Random shopping carts in the road. When you are happier they aren't around compared to how you feel when they are around. If you enjoy being alone or spending time without them, or get excited that plans have cancelled and you don't have to spend time with them, then that's a pretty clear sign. They start closing and minimizing windows when you walk in the room. So you're just looking at a Microsoft welcome screen? I just do this because I am weird about people reading over my shoulder. No matter who it is. I feel weird even if it's like Spotify or something up and then they're like, "Oh, you're listening to X?" And my first instinct is annoyance that they're checking out my screen. I also try to give the same kind of privacy to other people. Maybe I'm just strange. Plus, I mean, we all know 999% of guys sturbert. And there's probably PRN involved. They're probably still going to be weird about it if you walk in on them, and there will be guilty looking, minimizing, closing going on, but it doesn't mean there's any imminent breakup coming. If she just drops off the face of the earth. When everything you want to do together turns into being more of a struggle than actual fun. You try to get him her with you out to have dinner at a restaurant and are met with a sigh. You want to go catch a movie at the movie theater and are met with a sigh. Your relationship is about to get smashed to pieces. If you no longer have fun doing what is normally thought of as a fun, romantic thing to do together that you used to actually like doing, you are usually heading towards a breakup. How convenient. This post comes up when my relationship starts going downhill. Hooray. When all talk begins to feel like small talk. When your girlfriend tells you she wants to commit marriage for to try to keep some guy in the country that you've never heard her mention before. You realize that your dreams, or so's dreams, will require some serious compromises to be able to go on. I've been on both sides. If you have a gut feeling that something's wrong, then something is wrong. When you think the life insurance money is looking mighty good. No longer getting a good night, good morning text. There is a lot of advice in here which should not be taken too seriously. or acted on if you aren't 100% sure. Every relationship has ups and downs. There will be times where communication isn't easy. Chat doesn't flow. Where you feel a bit distant and unhappy. It doesn't mean your relationship is dead. It means you need to work harder and find out what the underlying issue is with your partner. Too many people I know walk away from good relationships at the very first sign of trouble and are generally unhappy for it.